This is not the video I was planning on making, but I thought it was important to talk about. So here's some real talk, curl talk here, that I'm pretty bummed about this new haircut. So let's talk about this. I just had my haircut, Diva Cut, a couple of weeks ago, and I'll put a link here of a video I made after my haircut, and it was the 5 things you should know before your next curly cut. And those are the few things that I thought about afterwards that I wish I would have spent more time thinking about, and I wish I would have written down on a piece of paper my goals and my wishes for this haircut. So my goal was I really needed to reshape the layers. It had been growing out for about 5 months. It was a really long time. The layers were long. It was starting to get flat on top. It was starting to get more width right here on the sides and then tapering back down at the ends. And so the back of my hair, the ends were getting really thin on the bottom. So I knew I wanted to trim that up so that it would just look fuller. But it was a pretty big chop that ended up doing. And I knew that this is the amount of hair that was thin, but I really just wanted to just do a little, maybe half that. And I told my stylist that in the beginning, she said, if you want to get rid of this thinness and it kind of looks like there's a hole here in the middle, then all of this, it will look best if all of this comes off. And I said, I'm just not comfortable with that. So she said, okay, we'll just try to trim it up, leave the layers longer on top, not touch those too much, and just sort of bring up the bottom to match with it, because the bottom layer was really separated from the top layer. So it was really just bringing all those layers together. So then after my hair was washed and styled, then I could still see that it was still thin and it still looked a little bit off, but I should have just, if I had that little piece of paper in my hand, I would have been able to see, okay, your hair will grow. This is just the first step, the first cut towards getting that fullness that I ultimately want. Instead, she was saying, see here, it's still a little bit thin because we didn't take it all off, and so it's going to be that way. If you want, we can trim it up a little bit more, but then the top layers, are not going to be in sync with that, because if you bring up the bottom even more, then the top layers have to come up. So she can't really do a whole new haircut after that. This has already been an hour and a half. So of the styling, washing, drying, all of that. So I said, yes, let's just trim it up a little bit, because my goal is just to have it full. I know my hair is gonna grow and it's gonna be fine. So what happened was, when she did that final dry cut, now my cut is straight across in the back, which I really love the sort of oval shape in the back. For me, I just love that look. The straight across look, and it's reminiscent of that, triangle hairstyle where it's just straight. Even though I have the layers, I still just don't like the way my curls sit all in a straight line. I love to see the cascading effect along the side of the curls. I just feel like with my loose curls, with my hair type, with my density, that I love to have that variation. And so with that oval shape, it really accentuates all that all the way around. So I don't have that. Let me show you really quick. So, and the other thing is, since it was dry cut the first time and then dry cut again, I'm seeing a lot of unevenness all around. So I'm not happy with that. I already had to snip a couple of curls that were just much longer than the rest. There was just one over here and one on this side. But now with several washes in, I keep seeing that just the hair looks all uneven. The layers are not even. So I've decided my next cut is not going to be a diva cut. But I have to say that with a caveat, because getting the diva cut, it wasn't all, you know, there was part of my fault in there, because I also went with a level 1 stylist. So they were new, they had just learned this, and I didn't really understand how much experience they had. I didn't ask. And then, you know, with me having her cut it before and then cutting after it was already washed and styled, it was just a combination of so many things that just didn't end up with a good result. But I must say, I don't particularly like for my hair and for my curl type and for the style that I like, for me, my personal signature style, I like a more neat and tidy look with the curls. And that means I like the wet cut, because I like when my hair is washed, conditioned, to really see the condition of my hair, to be able to cut all the right lengths and then let my hair curl up as it will on its own. So even when I do a wet cut, we do our consultation beforehand, and I show the stylist, okay, you know, if this is my first layer here, this is how much spring factor, you know, it has. So if I pull it, this is where I want the length to be. So when it's wet and she's combing it out, she knows, okay, so I want it, you know, at the collarbone, or I want it chin length for my first layer, and then she'll work it down from there. So there's still, she can still understand the spring factor and what's going to happen after it's dried. But I have always loved my cuts after a wet cut. So I'm going to go back to that. And I'm so tempted to just go back right now to trim it up, but I'm holding back. I already spent the money on the diva cut. So I'm just going to wait at least 3 months. That's what I'm holding myself to. And in the meantime, I'm going to use this opportunity to share with you all the different hairstyles that helped me during my healthy curls journey. So I have to interject here, and I have to say that I love hair of all lengths, and I've had hair of all lengths. I've had long hair. I've even had a pixie cut, if you can believe it. So I've had everything in between, and it's just that at this particular season, this particular time in my life, I am in the mood for long hair. That's just what feels like me at the moment. So we're all allowed to change our mind. We're all allowed to change our style. So this is not about long hair versus short hair. This is just about knowing what kind of hair that we want, knowing what kind of hair feels like us, and how to achieve that. So when I stopped using the straightening iron and curling iron, my hair had good days, but it had a lot of bad days. And so that's when I really depended on hair accessories and hairstyles to get me through. And I'm gonna use all of that knowledge, bring it back for you. So if you're going through your journey, whether you've done a big chop or whether you're just transitioning your hair from where it's at right now, I'm going to, for the next 3 months, as I'm going through this as well, I'm going to share with you half up styles, full updo styles, different hair accessories to really play with your hair without just it having to be down all the time. And I don't like, you know, flipping my hair and flip. I just like it to be styled and set and ready to go. And with this style, I haven't been able to do that too much yet because the top layers are too long for the length. So they really do need to be taken up to get the lift and the rounded shape that I need for this length. This part is too short. I can't bring my hair forward. Oh, I missed that. So, so I'm gonna be playing and I'm gonna share that with you. And I've listened to your comments and requests for hairstyles coming up, so I will include those. So I hope this all helps. And let me know in the comments below what type of hairstyles you're looking for these days for upcoming events or for just everyday occasions as well. I look forward to styling with you. Thank you so much for watching.